Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or should I say hello, 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 and welcome to the Valley View Casino Center in San Diego, California for this first NXT on Tuesday night here in our 2K14 universe. We're leading off the night with Drew McIntyre taking on Justin Gabriel in singles action, and we were just graced by WWE Chairman Vince McMahon opening the show up with Michael Cole over there at the commentary booth to announce the winner of the RAUSCH Games YouTube channel call contest, and it was indeed Mr. Toxic580 with his El Guapo Diablo, and he will be debuting tonight. It should be after this match, I do believe. He's slated actually in a truly crazy Mr. McMahon impossible scenario in what's being billed as a triple threat match against Erick, Rowan, and Luke Harper, which is pretty much just a handicap match from hell that nobody wants a part of. We're going to see how that one turns out for the newcomer. And as mentioned in Mr. McMahon's little speech just now, the runners-up, Troy and Mr. Respawn, have been released from their minor weekend tryout contracts, and they have been reportedly signed by the IWC, the independent wrestling community, as we will call it here. So we'll look for them in the future, but for now, El Guapo Diablo is on NXT and making his debut tonight. Oh, after a big boot from McIntyre, sends Gabriel flying to the outside. And this is going to be a nice match to open things up here. These two, you know, having come up from NXT in the real world and all that bit of fun. I do like the fact that you get to actually play as 3MB in 2K14 this year. I hate them. I hate them completely, but it's a tag team that I don't mind leaving at the NXT level forever. So there will be competition for those belts. And frankly, going back into kayfabe here, you've got to think that McIntyre and the rest of the 3MB are pursuing the NXT Tag Team Championships, which are currently held by Tons of Funk, Brodus Clay, and Lord Tensai. So we'll see if that revs up anytime in the future, as McIntyre is just taking it to Gabriel there with the inverted Russian leg sweep. That's going to set him up for a finisher, it looks like. We've got the taunt coming up. McIntyre waving him on, waving him on. Oh, and there it is. Kick the leg. Future shock DDT. Throws him over. He's going to roll right into a pin here after the replay, I can tell you. This beautiful NXT arena here in San Diego, California. Go watch the movie Anchorman if you'd like to know what San Diego means. But the pin does not go through, and Gabriel is up with a huge enziguri right to the face of Drew McIntyre. Gabriel's got a chance to get back in with a huge flip there. Landing the splash. Needs no warm-up for that kind of maneuver. But now McIntyre, another big boot right to the chest, and he's just throwing Justin Gabriel around at this point. He's definitely working on the arm, the neck, the body. These submission holds are going to put Gabriel out of commission sooner than later. And McIntyre has this one locked in intensely right now. Gabriel can't get to the ropes. He's immobilized. The ref is there trying to see where we're going to go from here. Gabriel's got to get out soon, or he's going to either give up or pass out. He's athletic, but he's not known for endurance. Oh, but McIntyre ends up letting up on the hold there, and Gabriel gets to his feet. McIntyre running at him. Another big boot. And now McIntyre picks him up, and he's going to go right back into that Russian leg sweep, and Gabriel's been juiced. He's wide open here, and McIntyre's waving him up one more time. Gabriel doesn't even know where he is right now, and Drew McIntyre setting it up. This is going to be another future shot DDT, and it is! Wraps the legs, throws him over. You might want to pull him away from the ropes this time. No, the blood seeping into the mullet of Justin Gabriel. What an awful scene to open NXT here. And we've got 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre of 3MB wins our inaugural match on NXT programming. A sound pinfall defeat over Justin Gabriel, who hopes for better days in the near future. But for now, McIntyre puts his team on the map and possibly his own singles career. He may very well end up chasing Big John Studd in his NXT championship. And he'll also be in action later tonight in a non-title match against Mike The Miz. We'll see how that one plays out for the champ here. But for now, Drew McIntyre opens up our show here at the Valley View Casino Center in San Diego, California. And we're going to come right back with 4 more matches on NXT. Do not leave this YouTube window. Here we go, match number 2 on the evening. One hell of a debut for El Guapo Diablo, our brand new luchador. You see him over there bringing it to Luke Harper. He's got to take on both Harper and Rowan in what's billed as a triple threat match, but is essentially a handicap, as we know that the Wyatt brothers are not exactly going to hurt each other here. And there's Rowan working in for the save there, getting Harper away from El Diablo. But Diablo, El Guapo Diablo, the handsome devil, really holding his own here despite the obvious size disadvantage against these two behemoths in the ring. And seriously, like, what a terrible, insane way for Vince. Oh, no. No. The brothers, their hostility overall is just getting the better of them. They see red and they can't help it. They occasionally will go after each other. But for Vince McMahon to welcome El Guapo Diablo to the WWE, to NXT, by putting him in a match against these two, it's insane. It's completely unfair. There's just no way that this little guy is going to win here. And, you know, for the fact that he just won a contest and he put his all into it, you'd think that McMahon would want him to have a bit of a better experience, maybe have a bit of an easier going debut. Why not let him take on Justin Gabriel and put Drew McIntyre against these two? But these are the wiles of Vincent McMahon, our chairman, our CEO. This is the way that he handles his business. And and there's going to be a huge bear hug from Rowan to El Guapo Diablo. And now Rowan looks pretty pumped up here. But Harper going back to work. Oh, but there's Rowan. He's got him locked in. That's a choke slam. Choke slam from Erick Rowan to El Guapo Diablo. That's a choke slam. And he throws him right down onto his back. And now he backs off and he's going to let Harper take care of the pinfall there. We've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, just 2 3/4 there. El Guapo showing some resilience, but after a big time over-the-shoulder, belly-to-belly from Luke Harper, it's unclear how much more of this he can actually take. And there's a camel clutch from Erick Rowan now being applied. Harper breaks it out. Harper wants the pinfall himself. He's eyeing up his brother. They back off now. Bray's not out here to keep him in line, but they're both known for just being vicious. Oh, with that huge takedown from Harper's, let that speak to the viciousness of these two. They may snap on each other, given the right confluence of events here. And there's another submission hold that Harper's got applied, but Diablo gets to the rope, breaks it up. No, Rowan is going in after Harper. They're double teaming him. That's a two-man choke slam from Rowan and Diablo. Inadvertent, I'm sure, but it happened regardless. Now Rowan just throwing El Guapo Diablo across the ring like a rag doll. Very unceremonious. Oh no. And now the brothers are starting to go after each other. The anything goes mentality in this match is definitely taken over at this point, as the Wyatt brothers are going after each other and forgetting about El Guapo Diablo. You know Bray's got to be backstage, not happy at all. And now Diablo is getting fired up with a series of clotheslines. Harper misses, and there's a power slam from Diablo. But there's Rowan from behind. He gets the hand over, and that's a big twisting back suplex. And now he goes in for the pin. We've got 1. Just a 1 count, though, and Diablo kicks out. And now Harper is in the middle. Rowan is in the middle of Harper and El Guapo Diablo. He's going to back off. He's going to let his head cool down a little bit. He's not here to attack Luke Harper. They are tag team partners. That's not what they do in this little federation we have. He is going to go in for the save, though. Oh, and El Guapo Diablo with the sit-out spine buster. He hits it on Rowan. He could get a pin here and win the match. But Harper picks up his brother. The brother wants the brother off of him. Oh, and this is going to be another big-time choke slam to El Guapo Diablo from Erick Rowan. And now Harper back suplexes him. This is complete madness. The rage is definitely taken over. But throughout all of this, the newcomer, El Guapo Diablo, the contest winner, is pretty much just dead in the ring. And there goes Luke Harper with a pinfall. We've got 1, 2, 3. We're going to say that Luke Harper got the win, but we know the Wyatt brothers got the win. Now they're going to have to go backstage and have some serious talks about anger management and other such issues. And you have to hope that El Guapo Diablo still wants to lace the boots up after this. I mean, after something along these lines, that's a hell of a way to have to get introduced to the NXT roster here in our little WWE universe. You hope that he's going to come back strong from this, and I hope that you come back from this little break we've got, because next we're going to have Heath Slater taking on NXT Tag Champion Tensai in the beginning of what is sure to be a long, drawn-out rivalry between the teams of 3MB and Tons of Funk. We just saw Drew McIntyre get a win in singles competition, putting himself and his team over right off the bat here on NXT. Next up, we're going to have Slater having a chance to prove that his team deserves a shot at those NXT tag team titles that can barely even fit around the waists of Brodus Clay and Tensai. We've got that coming up next. For now, the Wyatt brothers victorious. And here we are, our third match of the evening here from San Diego in front of 16,000 screaming fans here at NXT. We've got one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Tensai, Sweet Tea, taking on the leader of the 3MB, Heath Slater. And Tensai, the champion, is going right after Slater in what we can all presume is the beginning of a rivalry between these two teams in some combination or another. We know that 3MB is going to want that tag team gold so that by this time next year, right after WrestleMania weekend, the team can be promoted to one of the two main rosters, whereas Tensai and Brodus want to keep that gold for the exact same purpose, to get back up to the main roster at some point or another. And Tensai, with his feet right now, and now his fist is just bringing it to Heath Slater, showing him that getting those titles is not going to be the easiest thing in the world. And now he's got him. It looks like it's going to be a powerbomb here. He's got him clutched. It's a sit-out powerbomb from Tensai to Heath Slater. That was insane, the power behind it. And that size disadvantage here on the part of Heath Slater is coming into play. We've now got an armbar locked in from Tensai, and Slater is just completely at a loss in this match here on NXT. Tensai is absolutely in control, methodical, strong. But now Slater working back with a big-time back suplex there. Maybe he gets a little momentum out of this. The leader of 3MB forming the team after he, Jinder Mahal, and Drew McIntyre announced that they were tired of jobbing out to everybody on the roster. Now they do it as a team. And there is Tensai coming back. Big roll-around German suplex, throwing him into the center of the ring. And he's just going to stomp on his lower back, getting those pain sensors to kick in. And now Tensai has him in a double underhook. His head to one side. Lifts him up. And there's the sit-out side slam, double underhook. And Tensai still apparently spitting the green mist this year, ladies and gentlemen. Wonder if anybody else has seen that yet. But there's the big-time throat chop. He spits the mist into his hand. They haven't even bothered to get rid of this animation because it's too ironically bad. And he's rubbing that green goo into Heath Slater's face and turning it into an STO. Let's see if he gets a pinfall here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 1, 2, 3. We'll call that one a squash victory for NXT Tag Team Champion Lord Tensai, who apparently still has much of his tenure in Japan dictating his style in the ring. That was fun to watch. I did not know that that was what they did this year. But either way, Tons of Funk with a big-time statement victory over 3MB here on NXT on this Tuesday night. And we've got, there it is, that green mist STO. And then we get the pinfall, and Tensai, the champion, is going to leave this ring victorious. And hopefully we give you a match with a little bit more action next. Because that, oh man, if I was paying to see this, I'd be upset with the result there. But either way, Lord Tensai, your champion, is victorious. We come back with Brodus Clay taking on Sin Cara in just one moment. And here is Sin Cara making his way to the ring, and he's attacked from behind by Mark Henry. Of all people, Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, coming out and picking on the smallest man on the NXT roster. And he rolls him right into the ring, straight into the waiting arms of the other half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Brodus Clay, Tensai's partner in Tons of Funk, and Sin Cara at a very early disadvantage, but I guess it's made up for by the fact that he gets his very own light display for every single match he has. And let's talk about how ugly it is with the yellow in the NXT ring. But either way, Sin Cara already looking outmatched, but there's a nice Hurricane Rana from him, lifting himself right up to the neck of Brodus Clay. Sin Cara already overmatched in this, though. Mark Henry coming out and laying a beating and slamming him into the steps beforehand, probably not helping matters all that much. Clay hoping to just roll here. Sin Cara agile, yes, but after an attack like that, you never know. And Clay working now from a side headlock with a big back elbow to the face, and he's just beckoning for Sin Cara to take him on. So Sin Cara working in with kicks into a Hurricane Rana. We know that sequence well. And now working from behind, there is a big twist around double flow Hurricane Rana from him. He's going to have to do a lot more of that if he wants to take Clay down here. Clay barely even fazed by that. And there's just a big punch to the face and now clubbing the back of Sin Cara. He's going to break him if he's not careful here, folks. This is our 4th match of the evening here from NXT. And Next Level Games. Get off my TV screen, please. Thank you. And Sin Cara up on his feet, going into kicks. Brodus Clay with a huge clothesline, catching the kick, reversing into it. And now there's a big-time elbow drop right to the chest of Sin Cara, the masked superstar there. And now he reverses a punch and counters with his own left hand. I wonder what that felt like to Brodus Clay's massive skull. Maybe a mosquito? And now wait, there's Sin Cara going up. Clay is staggered. There's a huge missile drop kick to the back of Brodus Clay. Sin Cara now trying to gain some advantage off of that there. Going down, taking the leg down, and he snaps the hip of Brodus Clay. That's how you're going to keep the big man down. You have to work the legs. You have to work the legs. Keep going, Sin Cara. But Brodus Clay just pushes him down. And there's an elbow drop to the small of the back of Sin Cara, who is now staggered on his feet. And there's Brodus Clay. Huge body toss right there, throwing him over his shoulder. This is usually going to set up something big, but we've got a pinfall from Brodus Clay. Sin Cara kicks out easily after just one. And there's Sin Cara trying to work it on kicks now. And Brodus Clay with a huge scoop slam, twisting him around more than he should be able to. Sin Cara is out of it right now. And there's Brodus Clay off the ropes. The big body splash from the big man. Sin Cara's got to try to kick out, and he gets out after one. Just a 1 count. And the little guy fighting against Goliath here. And there's another big kick into Hurricane Rana combination, and Brodus Clay retaliates Sin Cara on the run there. Throws him over with a hip toss, and now he's dragging him back toward the center of the ring. Clay is just going to keep trying to pin his opponent here. Sin Cara is going to keep kicking out until Clay does a little more damage. Maybe Mark Henry's got to come back out here again. Oh, and there's a big-time over-the-shoulder reverse DDT from Sin Cara. He's going up top again, and he gets him with the flying Frankensteiner. Oh, and he was going up top again, but Clay read it well, and now he's got him from the top rope, flipped over into a power slam, inverted. And Clay fixing his hair. Sin Cara splayed out in the center of the ring before him. And that's going to be it. That's a 3 count. Brodus Clay with a big-time win over Sin Cara. Tons of Funk go 2 for 2 in their matches tonight and show why they are opening up this universe mode as the NXT Tag Team Champions. Meanwhile, Sin Cara may very well be injured given his backdrop, but for all intents and purposes, he loses a big one that he really wasn't expected to win tonight. And now the question is, why did Mark Henry feel the need to interfere in this match? What does Mark Henry have against Sin Cara? Their styles are completely different. They would almost never see each other in a ring otherwise. Why does he feel the need to interfere tonight and cost him a match cleanly against Brodus Clay? We may not find out, or we may find out next time. But either way, come back for our main event coming up next, guys. NXT Champion Big John Studd against The Miz. And in the ring, despite it, oh, Sin Cara slapping Brodus Clay's hand away. Sin Cara never shows that kind of attitude. We got a little badass here, guys. And here we go, match number 5 from San Diego here, NXT Live on a Tuesday night. We've got The Miz taking on NXT Champion Big John Studd in a non-title match. And The Miz is going right after the champion. After everything we've seen tonight, we think this one is going to be the most fireworks-laden match here. There was a big DDT and The Miz backs off. But wait, Big John Studd, you've got to be kidding me. He's just going to wave The Miz off here. The champion is leaving the ring. And that's it. He's just walking off on NXT. And The Miz, he's going to raise his hands in victory here. He's going to get a non-title win over the champion. I don't care how the win is. It's going to put The Miz over no matter what. And there's the ref with his countout. Big John Studd is just ambling up to the top of the arena there. And he's pointing back at Miz and staring. And he's trying to find his way out. He seems to be lost. I mean, you know, back in the 80s and early 90s, they weren't known for their brain power. But wait a second. He's got second thoughts. Big John Studd is lumbering back down to the ring. He's actually going to make this a match. He's going to give these fans what they paid for. And now The Miz going right after him again. That was a crazy way to start this match. And there's another eye rake from The Miz. Crosses over. We've got some big left hands to Big John Studd down on the mat. As this NXT champion, he was kind of arbitrarily chosen when we began this season, and he's got some things to prove here against a tested WWE veteran in The Miz. The Miz, a former WWE champion. You know, I mean, if I'm Big John Studd, I'm a little worried about that too. I don't know if I pretend to leave and then get lost and then come back because I can't find my car keys in my tights or something. But either way, The Miz working around with a back neck breaker there, and he's just going to back off and pump himself up again. He's showing Big John Studd why he didn't actually want to come back to this ring, how he never should have. But there's Studd with a huge club. Remember, Studd is huge, and there's a big body slam to prove it. Definite size advantage from the big man here, but you got to think it's going to be tough for him to hold the NXT title against people that wrestle as quickly and agilely as today's superstars. The Miz, not the most quick and not the most agile, but he's going to go up top as soon as I say that. And there's a big-time double axe handle to his prone opponent. Now he's going to roll him over, and he's got the arm wrenched around there. He's got that locked up, and he twists the neck around. But Studd, I think, is going to be able to break out of this one. Miz lets him go. Miz is not done proving a point here. Oh, but there's a... Oh! Big-time inverted Russian leg sweep there. And now the Miz signaling he's got something big in his shorts right now. And there he is working from behind. The skull-crushing finale to the champion, Big John Studd. The evening could be over here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see a pinfall coming right up. We've got 1, 2, 2.8, 9, 4, 6, 3, 2, 7, 1. Close, but no cigar with my exact pin count stopwatch there. And now Studd back on the attack. But the Miz reverses and gives him a big punch right to the face. A kick to the gut. He's got him on the ropes now. And he's going to throw him onto the center rope. And now the Miz backing up, and he's going to flip across and give him a little bit of a flapjack there. And now back up in the ring. Oh, Studd with a poke to the eyes of the Miz. Old school tactic from an old school big man right there. But Studd is hurting and can't shake it out. He's still trying to figure out why he actually came back to the ring. He may as well have just left. He still would have been a champion, and he would have left of his own accord. Here, he stands a big chance to lose to The Miz in the main event on NXT here. And it would be unheard of for the major champions of WWE and NXT to both lose in non-title competition to non-title holders in the respective main events of the first Raw and NXT of the year. But we do know that last night, John Cena lost to Yokozuna in a non-title match on Raw. And now Miz with another face lock. He's got the wrist tucked under his leg. He's got him arced up here. This is a much tighter hold than he had last time, and Big John Studd is having trouble fighting it here. Miz is keeping it locked in, but he's going to throw him down again. He's not finished toying with him. Studd has to put something together here, but he's not going to get to. There's the Miz with another inverted Russian leg sweep. Studd up on his head. Miz letting him get up again. This is going to be the end of the match here. Big John Studd is dazed. There's Miz from behind. Skull-crushing finale. Face first into the mat goes the big man, Big John Studd. Now the Miz just needs to cover him. We've got 1, 2, 3. Mike the Miz Mizanin beats Big John Studd in a non-title match. He puts down the NXT champion, opening up NXT this year, 2K14. Unbelievable show of force from the Miz here. Big John Studd tried to leave. He tried to just walk out and decide that the Miz was quote-unquote inferior opponent. He was wrong. And then he couldn't find his car keys, and he came back to the ring, finished the fight, and now the Miz, a show of respect here, and Studd obviously is going to slap the hand away. He's just been embarrassed here on quasi-national television. But that's it for NXT tonight. We had tons of Funk Dominant. We had the Miz win, and we had El Guapo Diablo lose to quote-unquote the Wyatt brothers. But you guys stay tight in your chairs. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come back with Superstars later this week. We will see you then. Bye-bye.